Hey everyone, my name is Jens and welcome to this sci-fi recap of the week video. This week we had a few trades. We had AUD giving us a 0.78% profit, as you can see right here. We had GBP AUD giving us 4% profit. At the same time, we had GBP NZD over here giving us 4% profit. Of course, we didn't count both because they are correlating pairs. Then we had AUD hitting our break even, resulting in 0% profit. And then we ended up the week with the move that we were expecting on AUD with 4% profit. So let's dive straight into it, because in this video, you'll see the full breakdown. The first pair we had was GBP AUD. That was an alert of 4 days ago. That's this arrow right here. So as you can see, right, this arrow, this is one we didn't take. You can also look that back in the chats, of course, so make sure to do that. The reason why we didn't take it is because the M pattern is not the way we wanted to see. So just for some extra information, of course, for people that are new, we have a three-step system, right? It's three-step simple system. And a three-step simple system goes as follows. The first step is a dark shade arrow. The second step is we want to have a 2-day pullback. And then the third step is an M or W reversal pattern. All right. So that's something that's really important. Now, if you look at this, we have a dark shade arrow. Price has been pulling back for at least 2 days, but the M or W pattern is not what we want, how we want to see it. Because how does a pattern, what does it look like? We want to see a higher low. And as you can see right here, the last low is lower. So that's an important detail when it comes down to that W. You can also check the ebook. We have it in Notion, but also in PDF. Right here, you can see what we like to see in a W like that. All right. And as you can see right here, we have 2 candles down, 2 candles up, 2 candles down, 2 candles up. This is a minimum. All right. So if you have 3, 4, 3, 2, that's also cool. But anything less than that is not really what we are looking for. And then, of course, this low right here, that's the lowest low. And then this one right there is the higher low. So that's very important when it comes down to identifying that, that W, because right here, the lowest low is this one. And then after that, it really didn't came back. Now, I know some people still took it. And even if you did, you didn't lose anything, because you would have entered right here. Your stop loss would have been pretty big. You would hit your TP1. And of course, what do we do after hitting TP1? We go break even. So meaning right here, you would have been at TP1, you put your stop loss to break even, and then about 2 hours later, you would be stopped out at break even. Of course, you shouldn't have done that, but even if you did, that's no biggie. You just had a break even trade. That's, of course, on Tuesday on GBP AUD. And then after that, we had this one right here, where it pulled back significantly more, which is, of course, good. Right here, we can see 2 candles down, 2 candles up, 2 candles down, 2 candles up. And then the arrow prints right there on the bearish candle. What we will do is we put our stop loss below the low. Target 1 is, of course, the first target we're going to go for. I'll put that on here. Target 1, go break even. Cool. And then after that, target 2 will be right there. Of course, you always want to count in for the spreads, so you put your stop loss a little lower than that. And at target 2 is where we take our full profit. So that's a plus 4%. Since we risk 2% per trade, this is a plus 4% on this trade. I'm going to take a picture of this. I'm going to put that, where we'll put that. Put that right here. GBP AUD. Here we go. So that's the first one. Cool. Then on GPAD, we didn't have anything else, really. I'm gonna note with GPAD what time it was. That was March 26th at 3:30. There we go. That's important because, of course, we're going to look at GBP NZD, for example, and if at the same time we have an arrow that's also in GBP NZD, we're going to be splitting the risk. So, what do we see right here? We have one dark arrow. As you can see, it's been pulling back for quite some time, especially from here, and then a very aggressive pullback that last day. I definitely like this pullback. We have two candles down, at least two candles up, at least two candles down, and then two candles back up. That's of course, the W pattern that we are looking for. Then your entry is right here. Stop loss below the low. First target right there. Amazing. I'll just put this one on it. And then, of course, the second target goes to right there. But then don't forget to add your spreads to this. So spread times 3. So you have some extra breathing. All right. So this is the second trade we really had. Now let me see. This one was 30 minutes later than the other one. It wasn't the same day. So something that's very important is, in reality, you're never going to be in both of these, or, you could, but I'm personally never going to be in both trades because I'll do it like this. GBP NZD 26. So in reality, you will never be in like both trades because the pairs correlate. So that's something important to know. Let me just fix this. Here we go. So I will never take a GBP trade with 2% and then take another GBP trade that's kind of the same because these pairs correlate with another 2%. What I can do is I can put 1% on the one, 1% on the other, right? Or if let's say I miss GBP AED because I'm too late, fine. As you can see, the price really didn't come back. If you missed it, 30 minutes later, we're already there. And from there, it just went up. What you can do is you can still take this one with the full 2%. So it depends on if you were on time or not, but we're going to count an average. This was 4% profit. And this one was 4% profit. But if you were on time on the first one, you are not in this. So we're not counting this profit. Okay. Of course, if your style of trading is more aggressive and you just take every trade with 2%, that's also cool. But that's not how it's supposed to go. Then we had AUD CHF. Here let's check this out. So what we can see is these are bearish trades, right? Now, first of all, we had this dark shade arrow on the 25th, right? The 25th was Tuesday. So what do we see? We see price has been pulling back. I believe not for the full 2 days. Yeah, that's about 2 days. It says 3 days over here, but there's a weekend in between. And 95 bars, that's about 2 days. So that's fine. It's not that strong of a pullback though. If you look at these other trades, right? Even though the beginning of the pullback wasn't that strong, it pulled back very strong the last day. Right here, it's more gradual, so the chances of it pulling back a little more are pretty big. So anyway, what do we see right here? The first dark shade arrow, no W, so I'm not taking that. Okay. Then the second dark shade arrow, you can clearly see this is a very strong candle. It's like an institutional candle. That was because of the news. So this was a red folder news event. All right. We don't take trades 1 hour before red folder news events. So if we're in a trade, we go out of the trade And if you want to enter a trade, we don't take them. Also, like, when news is hitting at the moment, your arrow is printing. That's not when you want to take a trade. I can, by the way, go over the news very quickly to show you guys how we do that. We have a news economic calendar right here in SIFI. Okay. But this doesn't allow me to go back, I believe. Oh yeah, it does. That's cool. So Monday till Friday. And then I want to have the red folders only. I can see the time. Okay, let me go to this. It's basically the same information. Right here, you can see the time. That's a little bit easier. I'll put out the medium. Apply. Cool. So Monday, we don't trade, so we don't need to look at that. Tuesday, we had, up till now, we had GBP and NZD and GBP and AUD that we were trading. So nothing to worry about. Then Wednesday, we had AUD at 2:30 in the morning. All right. So 2:30 in the morning, we had the AUD news. That's this right here. Okay. This says 1:30. I know the time changed, so maybe that's why. Because I remember this was also 1:30. But the time just changed last night. So, whatever that did. But even if it was 2:30, you don't enter this trade because the news was there. So that's cool. And then we had this last arrow. I personally didn't take it, but some people did, and that's fine. I didn't take this because we only had one bullish candle, and as you guys know, one bullish candle is not what we want to see. We want to see two, 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 two. Okay, so that's the reason why. But anyway, if you did, and you still took this trade, you put your stop loss above this high. Target one right here. And then you have your target two over there. Cool. Okay. I'm going to save the picture, but we're not going to count this profit because I personally would not take it. And I can't say, yeah, it's profit, so I take it. That's not what we like to do here. If we didn't take it, it's just what it is. ADCHF. Here we go. What was the timing? The time was March 26th at 2 p.m. So 26. Cool. So that's great. Now, after that, price really, it came back to entry, but it just kept going lower, which doesn't really matter. We had our take profit, and that's fine. That's all that really matters. And then, of course, AUD JPY. We had two trades on AUD JPY that we participated in. So we see that the pullback is pretty significant, even on the first arrow, right? It's not the full 2 days. Of course, again, it says 3 days because that's the weekend in between. But it's not the full 2 days. It's actually a little less. So the first arrow, if you didn't take that because of the days, that's fine. I didn't take it because of the M. Okay, my M is not, and also because of the pullback, of course. But then the combination, of course, if you have an amazing pullback and then this kind of M, you might take it. But if the pullback's not amazing and then the other one also is like nah, then I'm not looking to take that. Then of course we have this arrow. I would have to check, but I don't believe we took it. And even if we did, that was a break even. Of course, everything is documented in the track record. You can check that out. It takes a time to load though. So the first one we took was the 25th right here, and we got out with news. So as you can see, there was some news. So the 25th is this one. Okay, that's cool. Then we're gonna see after the 25th, what was the news? Oh, this was the AUD news. That was the same news that we were talking about earlier. So at 2:30, we had AUD news, meaning that was in the middle of the night. Oh, that's this one right there. So, meaning that when you take this trade, this M, it's pretty big, right? I like him smaller, but it's fine. It's still an M, still a reversal pattern. Your stop loss is not above this high, it's above the initial high, right? Which is the first leg. And then, of course, your target one is right there. When target one hits, you put your stop loss at break even, right? Now, we pulled out the trade earlier. We pulled out the trade somewhere, 30 to 60 minutes before. So somewhere around this doji candle is where you pulled out. And that's where we managed to do a risk to reward of 0.34 something, right? That's why we documented 38. 0.38 is the risk reward that we realized. And that is what you can also see right here. Okay, so we pulled it out before that news event happened. So that's this trade. Okay, I can take another picture of this, put it in our AUDJPY, 25th of March. What time was this? This was at 2:30. Cool. So good that we saved ourselves from a loss right here. And then after that, what we see is we have this first next arrow. And this arrow was a pretty strong one. And it was an interesting trade. I know some got stopped out with stop loss. But this again shows you how important it is to follow these rules. So the 2-day pullback was already in place, right? We already had a pullback of over 2 days. Oh, it's been pulling back. I'm gonna delete all of this. Yes, it's been pulling back for quite some time. And now we had an extra part of the pullback. Amazing. We get this arrow, we see the M, and what do? Of course, we place our trade, and our stop loss goes above this high. Right here. Now, as you can see, it came very close. It actually hit the stop loss itself. But what I was talking about earlier is you want to add some extra breathing room in there for your spread times 3. That's for situations exactly like these, okay? Because this can happen, that we create equal highs. That can happen. And you don't want to get stopped out by equal high. So that's just what it is, of course. Now, if we look at this, right? First target, right here, is a 1-to-1. From there, you go break even, and then break even was hit. Okay. And then, of course, you add the breathing room there so you don't hit your stop loss. But even if you did hit your stop loss, that's completely fine because we already made 4%, right? So this would be -2. But according to the rules, you shouldn't have hit your stop loss. Okay. Then the pullback goes a little further, which is completely fine. Oh yeah, let me take a picture of this. Here we go, copy image. AUDJPY. This was at 1 to 26th. So 26, 3 at 1 p.m. Amazing. And then, of course, we have the last trade of the week, I believe, is right here. The M is not the best, or the second, the last leg is like, little whatever it is. but that's completely fine. This trade was actually at midnight. So we also called it in the chat. Your entry would be right here. Some people missed it because it left off pretty fast, but I'm going to give you a tip on what you can do with that. Stop loss right on that high. First target is going to be right here. And then the second target where we take our profit is right there. You add the breathing room. Okay. Now, this is the last trade, but a little tip I can give. So what we see is if we drop down to the, go back first, I'll put a line on this. It's going to be easier. So this is where our entry was, right? At midnight, exactly. Because the close of the candle is at midnight. So as you can see, midnight is about right here. That's our entry. Now, at that very moment, 3 minutes later, we're already out. You don't want to take your entry right here. You don't want to do that because now your risk to reward is not a 1 to 2 anymore. Now it's a 1 to 1.5. So that little difference actually makes a lot of difference. Okay. So what do you do if you missed your entry? You can, as long as your target 1 is not hit, you can put a pending order, right? A pending order right there with your initial setup. Because what you want to think about is if I was on time, I would have been in the trade. Now, I can't get in the trade right now, like whenever you are here, you can't get in the trade because you're selling at a lower price. You don't want to sell too low. You want to sell as high as possible, right? You want to sell at the right moment where SIFI gave the arrow. So what do? Is we just make sure that our entry is still there. So you put a pending, and then, of course, if it then drops down to target 1, you go break even. If it drops down, this is important, guys. If it drops down to target 1 first, you're not getting in again. Because if you would have been in on time, you would have been stopped out at break even. You know, so according to the plan, you would get out at break even. Yeah, then not because you missed the trade, you're going to get in right now. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so that's just a little tip I can give. And I know some of you used it right here. You used the pending order, you got in, and then of course we came very close to target 1. Then we came target 2, sorry. Then we came very close to getting stopped out at break even, and then eventually it dropped. So that's also a great trade where we gained another 4%. All right. So AUDJPY. Oh, AUDJPY. I don't know what time it was, what day it was. Let me see. Yeah, that was midnight. So that was the 28th of March at midnight. So those are basically the trades we took. Okay. Let me put them in order. 26th, 26, 330, 4. This was 2. Let me put that right there. So the 25th. Cool. Now you have a clean representation of what the week really looked like. Okay. So on this one, we gained about gain was 0.78% because we pulled out before the news. This one, I didn't take it. So for those that took it, it was 4%, but we do not count this. Then GPAD was 4% profit. Cool. GPNZD is not counted because, of course, you wouldn't take both trades since they're both on GBP, and we don't take correlating trades, or we divide the risk, right? But if you divide the risk, you still make 4% on the total of these both setups. So we're not going to count that one. And then, of course, this one was break even at 0%. And then this one was a plus 4% again. So that's basically what our week looked like. Pretty calm week. not too calm. We had calmer weeks, but this is how we like it. You get an alert, you just check the 3 steps, and you place your trades. You put an alert whenever your break even has to go, and that's it. So let's calculate 0.78 plus not counted 4 plus not counted 0, and again 4. That's 8.78% for the week. Of course, this is with 8% not counted, since we are risk-off traders. If you're a risk-on trader, you just made 16.78% this week. Okay. Now, personally, that's not my style, because some weeks you will have 16%. Other weeks you'll have 3 losses in a row because one pair made a loss. Like, let's say you have 3 JPY pairs that are, or 3 AUD pairs at the same time with the same price action, with the same arrow, just like you have right here. And then they all go the wrong way. Now you have 3 losses, right? So that's why I avoid trading both correlating pairs at the same time. Now, anyway, that was the recap of the week, guys. I would say go check out the track record for more details, because in this track record, we also put comments and everything that comes with it. The trades we didn't count, I didn't count them as a trade, of course, because that would affect our stats. I just put some information below. Okay, so if we didn't count the trades, I would put them below together with those that correlated with it. As you can see right here, GBP AUD was counted right there. And then, of course, AUD JPY. Yeah, that was just a trade on itself. So make sure to go check it out. And thank you guys for checking out this video. I hope this was something you can learn from. I hope this gave you a good idea of what our week looked like. And I hope to see you on the next call next week, because we're going to crush it again. Let's get it.